So you may be asking yourself, why are Protection Paladins gearing for Haste? I mean, that's a DPS stat, right? Wrong. Well, sorta right. It goes both ways. You see, Mists of Pandaria has fundamentally changed the way that our mitigation model works. Gone are the days of our gear nearly playing the game for us. We now mitigate large amounts of damage based on how we actually play. This is partially revolved around Holy Power. We generate Holy Power with Crusader Strike, Judgment, and procs from Grand Crusader, each granting us 1 Holy Power. Holy Power is important because it's the resource we use to mitigate massive amounts of physical damage with Shield of the Righteous. We can also expend Holy Power to heal ourselves with Word of Glory, or be super clutch and save our fellow raid members from near-death experiences. Did I mention these 2 abilities are off the global cooldown? Yeah, it's awesome. The Tier 14 set bonus increased the effectiveness of these 2 abilities, and as such we'll be hanging on to them as long as possible. The question is, what's worth breaking for? Well, thankfully the Tier 15 set bonuses aren't too bad. The 2-piece set bonus is increasing the effectiveness of Word of Glory by leaps and bounds, giving us an additional 40% chance to block for 5 seconds per Holy Power used. Casting Word of Glory has been like taking our pants off in Mists. Yeah, sure, it could have healed us, but because we could have used the Holy Power on the massive mitigation that Shield of the Righteous provides, it feels like a waste. This is going to be really nice, because generally when I use Word of Glory, it's usually in a life or death situation for either me or somebody else, and I don't want to give up the mitigation that Shield of the Righteous provides. The Tier 15 4-set bonus turns Divine Protection into a Holy Power generator, granting 1 Holy Power for each 20% of our health taken as damage while Divine Protection is active. Okay, so where does Haste fit into this little picture? Well, Blizzard decided to do something pretty interesting with Mists, and gave us what was formerly a Retribution ability, Sanctity of Battle. Oh, how I love you. It reduces the cooldowns of every rotational ability we have. Wait, what? No, really, it does. So with more Haste, we are generating more Holy Power, which in turn means more Shield of the Righteous. Having our Holy Power generating abilities hit is key to gearing for Haste, so if you're going to do it, make sure that you get hit and expertise capped. So Haste is going to increase our damage and our mitigation, but that's not all. If you've been in a progression raid, you know that you need every ounce of damage you can get to kill bosses. Grand Empress Shek'Zir said it best.
Power. I must have more power.
Haste also scales with Sacred Shield. Sacred Shield is crazy. It applies a 30-second buff to our target that will grant them a 6-second absorb shield that scales with our spell power. Well, here's the thing. Our spell power comes from 50% of our attack power. As tanks, we gain Vengeance every time the boss hits us. Vengeance increases our attack power, and in turn, our spell power. So when we get hit by a raid boss, our Sacred Shield starts to scale like crazy. Now, what's even crazier is Haste increases not only the speed at which the absorb is applied, but it also increases the number of absorbs applied over the duration, depending on certain Haste breakpoints, of course. And this absorb not only benefits us, but whoever we're tanking with. It's almost stupid that such an amazing damage mitigation ability can be passed around like candy. Now you know what's really stupid? It's Seal of Insight with the Glyph of Battle Healer. Seal of Insight gives us an additional 10% Spell Haste. Spell Haste being what Sacred Shield scales off. So yay, plus 10% haste for Sacred Shield. But the Glyph of Battle Healer heals a nearby friendly target for 30% of the melee damage we deal. So more haste, more damage, more healing, more awesome. Get haste!